Welcome to the Veridion Briefing. I am Sloan Mercer with the Veridion Group, a private intelligence and security consultancy. This is a special edition, and it is a sensitive one. Today, we are going to walk through a structured, intelligence-based ranking of the 25 highest-risk living terrorist actors on the planet as of early 2026. Before we begin, let me explain what this is and what it is not. This is not a most wanted list. It is not a body count ranking or a fame index. This is a forward-looking threat assessment. We ranked these individuals based on their current assessed ability to enable mass casualty events, their operational reach, their access to networks and resources, and the maturity and sophistication of their demonstrated methods. Some of the names at the top of this list are not the ones most people would expect because we are measuring danger, not notoriety. Every assessment is derived from open-source intelligence. No classified material was used. Locations reflect the best publicly available information, and many of these individuals are deliberately opaque about their whereabouts by design. That uncertainty is itself a factor in the assessment. We have organized the 25 into 4 tiers based on their threat profile. Let me take you through each one. Tier 1 is what we call the strategic threat layer. These are the individuals who possess the combination of organizational authority, operational planning capability, and network reach to direct or enable large-scale transnational attacks. There are 4 names in this tier, and the top 2 are the ones that should concern senior decision-makers the most. Number 1 on the list is Saif al-Adel, assessed to be operating from Iran at the country level. Al-Adel is the senior leader of Al-Qaeda, and what makes him the top-ranked actor is not just his position, but his methodology. He is a long-cycle planner with exceptional tradecraft discipline. That means he favors operations that take months or years to develop, with careful compartmentalization and security protocols that make detection extremely difficult. His strategic influence across Al-Qaeda's global network, combined with his assessed ability to coordinate transnational activity from a state that provides at least tacit sanctuary, places him at the top of this ranking. Number 2 is Sanaullah Ghaffari, also known as Shahab al-Muhajir, the leader of ISIS-K operating in the Afghanistan-Pakistan region. Ghaffari represents a fundamentally different threat model than Al-Adel. Where Al-Adel is patient and methodical, Ghaffari drives a high-tempo, mass-casualty attack planning cycle with explicit external operations intent. His operating model is what we would describe as brutality-forward, meaning the organization under his command deliberately pursues maximum civilian casualties as a strategic communication tool. ISIS-K under Ghaffari has demonstrated the intent and emerging capability to strike beyond South and Central Asia, which is what elevates him to the top tier. Number 3 is Ahmed Diriyeh, also known as Ahmed Umar or Abu Ubaidah, the emir of al-Shabaab in Somalia. Diriyeh enables persistent insurgent and terrorist operations across East Africa with something most terrorist leaders lack: a scalable financing and taxation system. Al-Shabaab under Diriyeh operates what amounts to a parallel economy in parts of Somalia, which provides a sustainable resource base that does not depend on external donors. Combined with cross-border attack reach into Kenya and beyond, Diriyeh represents a durable, self-sustaining threat. Number 4 in the top tier is Iyad Ghali, the leader of JNIM, the Al-Qaeda-aligned coalition operating in northern Mali and across the broader Sahel. Ghali is unique on this list because he blends insurgency, governance by coercion, and regional destabilization with what we call attack outsourcing. He does not necessarily plan and execute every operation directly. He maintains a network that can generate violence on demand while he focuses on political and territorial consolidation. That combination of governance ambition and terrorist capability makes him exceptionally difficult to counter. Those 4 individuals represent the strategic layer. They have the authority, the networks, and the demonstrated capability to direct operations that produce mass casualties across national borders. If you are in corporate security or risk management and you have operations in the regions where these actors operate, their names should be in your threat briefings. Tier 2 is what we call regional command and external operations. These are individuals who may not sit at the very top of a global organization, but who possess specific capabilities that make them disproportionately dangerous. 5 names fall into this tier. Sajid Mir, operating from Pakistan, is a Lashkar-e-Taiba external operations figure. His methodology is what makes him dangerous. He favors reconnaissance-heavy planning, urban assault teams, and coordinated multi-target attacks. If that profile sounds familiar, it should. It is the operational template behind the 2008 Mumbai attacks. Mir represents the persistent risk that a South Asia-based organization with that level of tactical sophistication retains the capability and intent to execute complex urban assaults. Radalan Sahiran operates from Patakul, Jolo, in the Sulu archipelago of the Philippines. He is linked to Abu Sayyaf and favors kidnappings, ambushes, and small unit violence inside permissive terrain with clan-based cover networks. He is a lower-tech threat than the top-tier actors, but within his operating area, he is extremely effective and very difficult to locate. Ahmad Abu Samra, with a reported footprint in Aleppo, Syria, represents a different kind of danger. His profile is propaganda and operational support rather than direct battlefield command. He leverages media production and facilitation to amplify the reach and recruitment capability of extremist networks. In an era where radicalization increasingly happens online, that capability has outsized impact. Jihad Sirwan Mostafa operates across a travel footprint spanning Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, and Kenya. His value is regional mobility and operational connectivity. He supports recruitment, movement of personnel, and network linkages across multiple theaters. Think of him as connective tissue between organizations that might otherwise be isolated. And Liban Haji Mohammed, believed to have traveled to join al-Shabaab, represents a material support actor transitioning toward foreign fighter integration. His threat profile is facilitation, logistics, and network bridging rather than direct attack planning, but those enabling functions are what allow organizations to sustain operations over time. Tier 3 covers facilitation, logistics, and what we call network bridging actors. These individuals may not plan or execute attacks themselves, but they provide the infrastructure, the financing, the document support, or the recruitment pipelines that make attacks possible. I am grouping several names here because the pattern matters more than the individual profiles. Ahlam Ahmad al-Tamimi, widely reported to be in Jordan, is associated with mass-casualty suicide bombing logistics. Her current threat is assessed as network influence and symbolic value more than direct kinetic command. She represents the phenomenon of terrorist actors whose continued freedom serves as a recruitment and morale tool for the organizations they are associated with. Jaber El-Baneh, last known in Yemen, and Abdul Aziz Auda, associated with Palestinian Islamic Jihad leadership in Damascus, both represent enabling rather than executing profiles. El-Baneh's value is material support and facilitation. Auda's value is organizational legitimacy, fundraising, and strategic guidance. Neither is likely to personally conduct an attack, but both sustain the ecosystems that produce attacks. This is an important point for anyone trying to understand how terrorism actually works. The individuals who pull triggers or detonate devices are often the most replaceable part of the system. The facilitators, the financiers, the recruiters, and the logistics coordinators are far harder to replace, and their removal has a disproportionate impact on organizational capability. Tier 3 actors are dangerous precisely because they are the infrastructure. Tier 4 is what we call legacy actors with residual capability. This is where the list gets analytically interesting, because several of these individuals have been on wanted lists for decades. The question we asked is not whether they were dangerous 30 years ago. The question is whether they are dangerous now. The answer, in most cases, is that their direct operational capability has likely degraded, but their network connectivity, specialist knowledge, and symbolic value retain threat relevance. There is a notable cluster within Tier 4 that deserves specific attention. 4 individuals, Abdelkarim al-Nasser, Ahmad al-Mughassil, Ali el-Huri, and Ibrahim al-Yaqub, are all linked to Saudi Hizballah. This is a network associated with the Khobar Towers bombing and related operations. What makes this cluster significant is not any single individual, but the collective capability. Al-Mughassil, in particular, has what we describe as high-end bombing pedigree, meaning demonstrated expertise in large-scale improvised explosive device and vehicle-borne device construction and employment. That specialist knowledge does not expire with age. A bomb maker who understood how to construct a device capable of bringing down a building 30 years ago still understands those principles today. Similarly, Hussein Mohammed Al-Umari is assessed as an explosive specialist with aviation targeting history. Abdul Rahman Yassin is associated with the 1993 World Trade Center bombing as a device-building support member. These are individuals whose specific technical knowledge represents residual capability even if their command and control access has diminished. The Lebanon-based cluster of Muhammad Ali Hamadeh, Hassan Is al-Din, and Ali Atwa, all linked to Hizballah-era aviation hijacking operations, represent a different kind of legacy threat. Their specific tactical playbook, hostage-taking and aviation coercion, remains a high-impact methodology, and they operate within what we assess as a permissive sanctuary where network protection is available. Now let me step back from the individual names and talk about what the patterns on this list tell us. First, geography matters, but not the way most people think. The highest-ranked actors are not concentrated in one country. They are distributed across Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, Mali, the Philippines, Syria, Yemen, Jordan, and Lebanon. The threat is networked and transnational, not contained within any single border. Second, the enabling layer is as dangerous as the command layer. Facilitators, logistics coordinators, and network bridgers appear throughout this list because they are the infrastructure that converts intent into capability. Disrupting that infrastructure is at least as important as targeting individual leaders. Third, specialist knowledge has a long shelf life. Bomb makers, aviation targeting specialists, and complex attack planners retain their expertise for decades. The passage of time reduces their organizational access, but not their technical knowledge, and that knowledge can be transferred to the next generation. Fourth, sanctuary matters enormously. Nearly every actor on this list operates from territory where state authority is absent, complicit, or unable to reach them. Iran, the Afghanistan-Pakistan frontier, parts of Somalia, northern Mali, southern Philippines, and Lebanon all appear repeatedly. Addressing the sanctuary problem is a prerequisite for addressing the actor problem. And fifth, this list will change. Terrorist networks are dynamic. Leadership succession, internal power struggles, operational failures, and counterterrorism pressure all reshape the threat landscape continuously. A ranking like this is a snapshot, not a permanent assessment. It requires regular reassessment against new evidence. For corporate security professionals and risk managers, the practical implication is this. If your organization operates in or near the geographic footprints of Tier 1 and Tier 2 actors, your threat models should account for the specific methodologies associated with those individuals. Al-Adel's long-cycle transnational plotting requires different security postures than Ghafari's high-tempo mass-casualty model. Diarier's cross-border reach from Somalia has different implications for your East Africa operations than Aghali's Sahel destabilization campaign has for your West Africa operations. Generic threat assessments that treat all terrorism as interchangeable miss these critical distinctions. That is the Veridion Briefing Special Edition on the 25 highest-risk living terrorist actors. The full analytical product with complete sourcing, individual threat profiles, network mapping, and methodology documentation is available through the Veridion Group. If your organization needs to understand how these threat actors affect your specific operational footprint, visit veridiongroup.com/briefing to schedule a consultation with our analysts. I am Sloan Mercer with the Veridion Group. Stay informed, stay prepared. I will see you next week.